I'm so excited to be back on live with y'all. So just as a heads up, I will be speaking to 2 cameras, so if I look 2 ways, don't mind me. But for time's sake, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using my thing to elevate journal. Today, you can pull out your journal and yeah, or if you don't have my journal, just a piece of paper is fine. But let's go ahead and get started. For the first thing, what's up? Welcome, Grand Rising. First thing we're going to be going over is making a decision. So again, this is going to be a little bit about a mindset, a little bit of energy work, but the way I'm living right now is a direct reflection of past decisions I have made. The quality of my life is determined upon the quality of my decisions. What's up, Steve? Good morning. Most people do not understand how to make decisions, therefore they end up in cycles or do not know how to get new results. Okay, we're almost done. Most people do not actively choose to make decisions because of fear that comes after betting on yourself or failing. And failing, my bad. I understand failing is a part of the equation. Okay, I'm going to highlight that again. I understand that failing is a part of the equation. The sooner I recognize this, the sooner I can fail my way to success by learning from my mistakes. This is done by actively pivoting and applying a system of habitual routines that reflect the person I am seeking to become. I am learning how to make committed decisions. I am deciding what I want and I will persist until. Good morning, Yuli. So the reason I read this is because we're starting on a new journey, right? You're going to be hopping on with me here in the mornings. I'm going to be showing you how to transmute energy. And basically, whatever goal you decide to pick, then from there, we're going to be working. But it's important for you to know that there is a process that's going to happen for you to be able to manifest whatever it is you're working towards, right? What's up, Tani? How you doing? So for the purposes of that, what's up, Maribel? Good morning, Grand Rising, y'all. We already kind of started, but I will have the whole, I guess, session live on YouTube. But for the purposes of time, we're going to just go ahead and start it. You guys just missed a little bit of decision making. But now we're going to go ahead into just some gratitude, right? So drop that in the chat. I'm actually going to be doing this with y'all. I have my journal right here. So bring out your journal or just a piece of paper that you have. And let's start with some gratitude. Gratitude is the best way to raise your vibration. It is so simple and so easy, but it really does get you in this state of being where you start to expand and focus on the good and therefore attract more of the good, right? So drop that in the chat. One thing you're grateful for. I'll go first. Today, honestly, I'm just really grateful to be going live. And I know that sounds like super cheesy or whatever, but I have not done this in a long time. And I really do miss it. It's really an awesome thing to just connect with people and just hear what you guys are working on, see what, how we can help each other and all that. So yes, what are you grateful for? Okay, so now that you have things that you're grateful for, make sure you write down, let's say 5 things. We'll start there, okay? So 5 things you're grateful for, just write it down. And once you're done with that, we're going to go ahead and get started and do the good morning. We're going to go ahead and start with the cards. So just kind of tap into which chakras as a collective right now all together. We can use some balancing in, okay? And again, I set up the whole mood. I have some incense and like calm frequency in the back. But all right, now that we have a couple more people, we're going to go ahead and tap into. Remember, guys, when people read tarot, this is something I had to learn as a tarot reader myself. You are giving them permission to tap into your energy field. So just make sure that the person that's reading tarot, you actually, feel comfortable with them. And remember, you can always accept, reject, or neglect anything that I say, anything that anyone says, anything that you hear, you see. And the rather you accept it or deny it, it's going to be really important, because if you accept it, automatically goes into your subconscious. Grand Rising. I'm grateful for my endurance. Let's go. Endurance is awesome, man. Like, it's work, but I'm grateful for that too. I'm grateful for all y'all. All right, so the card that we got first right now is balancing the chakras. This is an activity. So remember, you can take what resonates and leave what doesn't, right? And even if you don't want to do it right now, here, I'll actually put it right here. I don't know if you guys can see, but you can screenshot that if you feel called. Step 1, sit comfortably in a cross-legged position. Then for step 2, we're going to light a candle, placing it 1/2 meter away. A meter is like 3 feet, so like 1.5 feet. Step 3, be still and look at the flame without blinking. Watch with complete attention for a few minutes. Just a side note, this is going to actually help increase your will, your focus, which is one of our higher faculties. Step 4, close your eyes and watch the residual image. Do this until you can no longer see the image. Step 5, slowly bat open your eyelids and either repeat the activity or take a deep breath to finish. So again, this is just an activity. This deck has activity and tools. So again, just take what resonates, do what is gonna feel a little easy. I always say start with the easiest stuff, especially if you're trying to build new habits right now. So maybe for this call, like you can't multitask and journal at the same time. Maybe just be here, be present, and then after you can reflect on your own. Okay, so the first chakra we got is the root chakra. So yoga is one of the, again, I have two cameras, so don't mind me. Yoga is one of the tools that you can use to actually help get rid of and move that stagnant energy. So I literally just said that, I'm sorry. I gotta read the card first. Yoga can help to release tension and open the root chakra. Helpful poses are mountain, squat, warrior, goddess, and child pose. Again, mountain, squat, warrior, goddess, and child pose. Again, I will upload these videos on YouTube, so if you miss anything, don't worry, I got you. All right, I don't know why, but I felt called to shuffle again. All right, let's see if we can get an affirmation. Sometimes they give me just whatever it wants, so I know. But we actually got heart chakra affirmation. So again, let me actually write that. I don't know where I left my pen. Okay. I'm open to love and I receive more of it every day. Okay. I am open to love and I receive more of it every day. And I know even though sometimes we think like we're good, we're okay, these are just reminders that like the highest frequency we can operate from is one, authenticity, but also love. Like we are just souls. We're just genuine, like pure love, right? And what you give, you attract back. So that is the affirmation that we got for today. Let me see if we get anything else. And right after that, we'll go ahead and get started with this deck. And this deck is just going to be used to get a journal prompt for the day. Remember that writing causes thinking. And when you can think from new ideas, that's how you actually get to expand your consciousness. So that's why we're doing this. I'll break things down eventually every single day as we hop on. So everything kind of makes sense and you understand the science behind it. But I promise you guys, it's all has a it's intentional. Throat chakra vibes. Okay, let's see. If nothing else comes out, then we can just move on. It'll be a quick session today. Okay, nothing else came out, so that was that for this. Okay, so let's move on to this one. Actually, and this one is an inspiration deck. This is actually the second deck that I ever got. I don't know if I've ever shared the story of how I found out like I could even do this. Basically, everybody can, and I apologize for my dog. I wish I could invert. We got Phoenix energy, right? So like rising from the ashes. And then we got spiritual truth, intuitive knowing. It's actually lazy with an L. It's Lazy. You want to say hi? Come on. She said nah. But I appreciate y'all. Okay. So as I was saying, what I love to do is just use this as confirmation for whatever it is that we get with the energy deck. So, all right, that's enough. So we got root chakra that's rooted. That talks about inner security, grounding, heart chakra, opening up obviously our heart, loving, expanding. I don't know if you guys know this, but we actually have, okay, we got curious energy, intellect. We actually have a heart space and we have a like brain coherence. We have heart coherence and brain coherence. And when you get both of them in alignment, that's when we actually attract even more. So we got 10 of emotions. So this is completion, community, happiness, fulfillment. So let me get like, okay. Feeling bound. Sorry, I forgot to show you guys the cards. Remember, again, you could take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So not everything's going to resonate. at times, because there are, this is a collective reading. But then we got hardship. So I feel like this is giving more with the heart, right? So sometimes we can feel bound, or we can experience a lot of hardship, and what that does is that we close off our hearts. We put up these walls to feel, okay, this makes a lot of sense now, to feel safe and secure, right? So we put up these walls to feel safe and secure, to block and protect our hearts. But what we're really doing is that, remember guys, if the walls are up, yes, you're protecting yourself, but you're also blocking anything from coming in that's going to give you joy. Just remember, you're also blocking away potential happiness. So healing old wounds or stories of the past, again, feeling bound to something or experiencing any type of hardship is going to create sort of this wall. And what we really need to do is just break those walls down and heal, because when we heal and we let go, we energetically create a vacuum, a space. What's up, Manny? What's up, Diana? We create a vacuum, we create a space for us to receive more, right? We gotta work in unison with the laws. We gotta work in unison with our energy, with, if you believe in like spirit guides and all of that, with your spirit guides, with God, with your higher self, with the quantum. Again, there's so many different words that people use, but basically at the end of the day, it goes back to having faith, right? And this is not in a religious way. It's just that you really only have two options. Either, oh my God, either you're operating from faith or you're operating from fear. And they're both not real. They're illusions, but it really will alter your outcome depending on which one you operate from. So we got alchemizing into light, rising from the shadow, and justice. So we have karma coming in. Remember that karma is not good or bad. It just simply means exactly what I was saying in the beginning of the reading, right? That whatever you put out comes back. So remember to open up your heart and be open to new experiences, because if you keep reminiscing, right, on these old hardships or old chains of feeling tied to something, or and this could be anything. This could be a person, this could be emotion, this could be a story. But what you're doing is that you're keep recreating that energy. What's up, cornbread? You keep recreating that energy, so you're going to be stuck in the same cycles. So you're being asked here to rise right from the ashes and to like really just let go, open up that heart space. Again, affirmation for whoever's coming in: I am open to love and I receive more of it every day. Remember that self-love is the most important love, because however you love yourself is as deep as you will be able to love others and also receive, right? So yeah, you're always getting karma. You're always receiving exactly what you put out. So again, just a reminder to open up the heart space, let go of the past energy so you have space for new energy. Let's get one more, and then we'll go ahead and kind of come up with a journal prompt for today. Ooh. So we got manifest potential. So that's exactly basically in a sum what I was saying right now, right? How like you put out energy and then it comes back. That's called manifestation. Manifestation is just the physical manifest. That's actually, I have two cameras right now. It was 144 in the timer as I said that, and that's actually like a love number. So I don't know like if anyone here is kind of like trying to manifest a specific person or their person. I don't really like to go based on that, because you should always just come into union with yourself first. But I guess for today, the journal prompt can be, in which ways I'm using my Think to Elevate journal. This is in my bio, or you can use any of the other ones I have there. You could use your own, or just simply start it with a piece of paper. But it is good to write. When you write, it basically is you using more of your senses, and this is going to change the neurological conditioning and wiring of your brain. So when I say that this is a science, like this is literally a science, because we're trying to change our old thought patterns, which create neurological connections, which are habitual and which are gonna basically create chemicals in our body, and then those chemicals create a feeling, those feelings create actions, and those actions create results. So this is literally us rewiring like the hell out of ourselves, okay? In which ways can I open my Like, Sunny, I have another dog. In which ways can I open my heart to giving and receiving more? So I'm called to talk about this right now. So as we shift self-image and we give ourselves the space to become a new person, have new thoughts, have new feelings, have new emotions, and have new results, it's a grieving process of the old person we used to be. So sometimes there's still things inside of us or thoughts. Again, take this as it resonates. Thoughts, emotions, actions, results, perceptions, beliefs, whatever, right? That we don't want to face, and we seek this growth, but by not facing that, like, it's internally in us. Therefore, internally, even if it's subconscious, because a lot of this is subconscious, and this can be a lot, guys, honestly, I've been working on this, like, intentionally studying this information for 4 years now. So it does take time, and that's why I decided to go ahead and do this call on Monday to Friday. So the more you hear this, right? So hop on these calls. The more you hear this, the more you are programming your mind differently, right? You're switching out those old beliefs, old thought patterns, and creating space. Again, emphasis on creating space, guys, today. That's like the emphasis for the call. But yeah, you have to choose what's in alignment with your truth, right? So be really real and honest with yourself. Like, who are you? Like, what are you really standing up for? What up, Oscar? ¿Qué pasó? Like, what are you really standing up for? Because your truth, right? And the truth, just to make it clear, is anything that you consent to, anything that you accept as truth. Anything that so, like, for example, if my truth is that, and I've spoken this already, right? Like, I know I am a healer. I know I have this ability to speak into the life of people and, like, just make, like, I can make people cry. And it used to scare me, so I stopped. But actually, that's why I got into tarot, because it's an easier way for me to just kind of do it collectively, and, like, whatever you take, and I don't feel like I'm making somebody cry and like pressing on their traumas and like triggering them, because you might get triggered on this call. I will just be completely honest. You can be triggered in a good way, you can be triggered in a bad way. Everything is perception, right? Whatever you want to change it. So, like, for example, if I said something today that made you feel some type of way because like it hit spot on, it's not me trying to come at you, it's me trying to help you become aware of something, of a wound that is still present within you. The process, and it's kind of hurt when you heal a wound. Sometimes, when you apply that pressure, it hurts. It retouches the wound. And that's why a lot of people choose not to heal. But chaotic energy everywhere. But it cut me off though. But you need to, right? So choose what's in alignment with your truth. Again, you use your intellect, right? You have these higher faculties, and that's literally what's inside of the journals as well, right? I'm going to be referring a lot to these journals, so don't mind me. Again, this is just a tool, but I was talking about your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. I don't know if you guys can see this, like if it's backwards for you guys. Again, I'm going to post it on YouTube, so hopefully some way, somehow you guys can actually get to see this information. But right, you have your conscious mind. This is your intellect. This is where you get to decide if you want to accept or reject information. So right now you are seeing me and you're hearing me, and I'm pouring into you, and it's coming into your conscious mind, right? This is your intellect mind. Now you make the decision to decide, am I going to accept this as here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is where you get to decide, am I going to accept this as my truth, right? And then from here, if you decide that what I'm saying or what you hear, what you see, or what you take, like from anywhere, this is not from me, Sunny. This is from anyone, right? As truth, then by law, it's going to go into your subconscious. Once it goes into your subconscious, it's part of your self-image. And your self-image is the next thing I will be reading on, right? So I love how everything just kind of, every time I shift my self-image, basically, I read this book. It's a plastic surgeon that, basically studied like the psychology of his clients, because he realized that some clients, when they would get some alteration, right, obviously you're changing something, would end up increasing their self-esteem, and some had no change at all. So he's like, why is this, right? Because some people would like come in and they're like, oh, I hate my nose. They would do the nose. He'd come in like, and they'd walk in with a total different attitude, like completely like, like more confident. And then some people would just be like, no, like different nose, but still like, I feel ugly. So like their self-image didn't change, right? We have two self-images, right? We have like an external self-image, but we have an internal self-image. And what I mean by this is why I say that a lot of people, like, it's easy for them to fake it, right? That they're confident, but internally, like deep down inside, nobody else can know this but them. They are not, right? They are faking that confidence. So the importance of faking it or not, because at the end of the day, we shouldn't care what other people, like, it's just about us, right? This is you. Like, this is you versus you, okay? What's up now? But why it's so important that you're real with yourself, okay, this is for somebody right here, that you're real with yourself about how you truly feel about yourself, right? Your self-image, is because that is the energy that actually like sets out into the universe, into the world, or whatever, like your electromagnetic field. That is the energy that is being tapped into and called back into your reality, right? So again, subconscious mind is what actually triggers your reality. This might be a lot for some people, but again, we'll break it down, we'll talk about it. But okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and like read like the whole little paragraph, okay? The most important psychological discovery of this century is the discovery of self-image. Whether we realize it or not, each of us carries about us a mental blueprint or picture of ourselves. It may be vague and ill-defined to our conscious gaze. Conscious just means like intellectual, right? Again, our conscious mind. In fact, it may not be consciously recognizable at all, but it is there, complete down to the last detail. This self-image is our own conception of the sort of person that I am. It has built up from the own beliefs about ourselves, but most of these beliefs are about, sorry, I can't read right now. But most of these beliefs about ourselves have unconsciously been formed from our past experiences. I want you to listen right here. Our successes and our failures, our humiliations, our triumphs, and the other way people have reacted to us, especially in early childhood, right? So why is this important? It's important because anything, again, that could be either bad or good. Again, everything is perception, because at the end of the day, nothing is bad or good. I will go over this probably tomorrow, the laws of the universe, so you can understand when I start to make references. But anything that has ever happened to you in your life has given you a message, right? So let's say you were bullied as a kid. So this, whatever you were bullied for, is going to be a message to your brain saying, like, for this reason, like, I am not worthy. For this reason, I am like outcasted. For this, whatever, right? And that little seed that gets planted in your brain as a child, if you don't learn to heal and like let those walls down, right, it's going to keep planting, and it's going to keep manifesting in different areas of your life. For example, that's going to create an insecurity, right? And this insecurity might translate over to your connections, your relationships, right? And you're going to feel unworthy of, or again, take it as it resonates, but that's just one way that this affects you, right? Okay, so from all of these, we mentally construct a self, or a picture of a self. Once an idea or a belief about ourselves goes into this picture, it becomes true, right? Back to what is your truth. So what have you accepted in, that's another journal prompt. What have you accepted in this life because of others as truth that you no longer want to resonate with? Remember, you have the ability to accept or reject. So even if you accepted it back then, you can let go of that right now. If you don't want to be awkward anymore, if you don't want to be an invert, if you don't want, okay, that's a little different. I don't know, I guess it depends. But basically, we are nothing until we make the decision that we are. Okay, so if you want to be social, if you want to be something different, something you've never been, go for it. You just got to make the decision. It is up to no one but yourself. And if you're stopping yourself, it's because you're still seeking outside validation. Just letting you know. Okay, we do not question its validity, but we proceed to act upon it just as if it were true. Again, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, your results, right? So this self-image becomes a golden key to living a better life because of two important discoveries. One, all of your actions, feelings, and behaviors, even your abilities, again, what you are able to do or not do based on your truth, are always consistent with the self-image. So if you're trying, I don't like using that word. If you're looking to start a new job, if you're looking to become a new role in your life, right? Whether that be a parent, whether that be a mentor, whatever it is that you're looking to be, if you don't see yourself as that person right now or before you start the journey, you're gonna have a lot of trouble, and it's gonna be a lot of self-sabotage because like your self-image is not incongruent with that new role. So your job, and that's why it's difficult, it's challenging. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, like you just say like, okay, I see myself. But no, it takes work. It's a lot of internal digging, and like a lot of the times we don't even know some of the beliefs that we hold, right? Like personally, I used to believe that like I hated public speaking, and I've always done it my whole life. And every time I would get so nervous, super nervous, and then I realized like I love to speak. Like I never shut the fuck up. Like so I'm like, why do I hate public speaking? And it was just like because of what people might be saying or thinking, right? And it's like I realized like that had nothing to do with other people, but everything to do with me and my confidence. And I owned up to that. I built my confidence, and like now I just do it, So again, to take it as it resonates. I'm just sharing with you personal stuff so you can kind of see what I mean by this, right? But I don't know, I just kind of pulled out a new card. We have transitions of new states of being, living, and loving, right? So again, changing your self-image is going to shift this for you. You're going to shift your ways. It's going to transition you like energetically first and then physically. And I know this might not make a lot of sense, but I say energetically first because I don't know if you guys have heard of like there's different dimensions. We have like the 3D, the 4D, the 5D, or whatever, right? And again, this is all perception. Other people use different words, but you first have to make that shift within energetically. And energy, we are energy. Okay, there. You can't. Okay, let me go. We're made up of energy, right? We have like tissue, organs, tissues, cells, and the smallest atom, whatever, protons, electrons, and neutrons. So the electrons and the rearrangement of these molecules. Think about a magnet, right? So a magnet will attract metal and it just pulls it with it. But why is that? It's because of the ways that the electrons with the two objects are arranged, right? And if the electrons are arranged just slightly different, it's not magnetic anymore, and it won't pull. Or sometimes the magnet is too small for the other object. So this magnet, you need a stronger magnet. So that's how I want you to think about your body as a magnet, because we are full of electrons. We actually are energy. Like we have of energy. We are made up of energy, right? And I'll go into that another day because that's a whole different topic. But I just want you to start to kind of get in this mindset of like awareness of like who you really are and like how this world actually operates, because we have been told a lot of things, but we also have not been told a lot of things, right? Like you don't know what you don't know, right? And I say this as humbly as someone that like used to be those persons that like thought I knew everything because I just got straight A's all the time. And again, that was part of my programming, right? So perfect, that was part of my self-image. My self-image was that like I knew it all because I always got straight A's and like whatever in school, because that's how they program you, right? If you're an A student, straight A student, you're smart. If you're an F student, you're dumb. And it's like even that is programming from childhood that like affects you later on, right? Like if you get a lot of F's or you're looked down upon for your grades, you're gonna think you're not smart, and you're not gonna make those decisions to do things that require intelligence. But intelligence has nothing to do with academia, right? Academia is just you having good memory and being able to read something, recall upon it, and answer some questions, right? So I don't know, but I hope somebody really needed that today, because like do not let your past define your future, please. Okay. So we got that for today. What time is it? 8:35. Does anybody have any questions or anything they just want to comment or share? I kind of want to open up the floor. I really want this to be very interactive. I don't want it just to be me talking. If you have any questions or you're working on anything, any goals, even if it's like whatever, like fitness related or mindset or whatever, I don't know what you're working on, but actually this will be a good time for me to go into this. If you don't know what the fuck you want to do with your life right now, or you feel a little stagnant, it's just because you need to make up some goals, right? So I can actually tap into goals just a little bit. I actually wrote this down and I have it on my board, so I'll just share with y'all, right? So the only prerequisite for having a goal is that you gotta want it. And what I mean by wanting it is like that who you really are, like with your truth, going back to like the beginning, You have to want it, right? And if you get bored while on this journey of shifting and growing or becoming, then you don't really want that goal. And I had to I'm just being real. I had to realize this for myself. Right? When you get bored or you feel like, oh, I'm lacking passion, you really don't want it that bad. When you really want something, think about like a kid, right? When like you take them out and there's candy or something, and have if maybe, I mean, I don't have kids, but I have a nephew, right? And like, or just think about yourself when you were a kid, right? You went to the store, you're like, I want, and you would throw tantrums, whatever, like, because you wanted it. So you didn't care what you looked like, what you sounded like you just wanted it, and you persisted until you got whatever it is that you wanted. So this is exactly the same way I want you to go with your goals, right? And yeah, just remember, if you get bored or if you are like some days on, some days off, I want you to rethink about your goal. Like, do I really, really want that, right? Or is there something else better out there for me, right? So there's actually 3 levels of like creating goals, right? I think I'll go over it. Again, all of this is in the journals if you want to follow along with me. And if not, again, just write this on your piece of paper or your notebook. But there are 3 different types of goals. So we have A goals, which are present results, right? Already know how to get it. And this is actually something I had to think about because, for example, like if you want a brand new car, right? But you've already had a car in your life, like a brand new car, that is not a goal, right? You already know how to do it. So like up here, right, in your, well, okay, the mind is an activity, okay, but we'll get into that another day. But yeah, that's not really a goal, or at least not something that's going to bring you fulfillment because you've had it already, right? You want to expand and grow. So B, the other kind of goal, I think I can do it, right? I can figure it out. So like if you can kind of figure out how you're going to do something, I mean, that is a goal and you might not know exactly how, but you kind of can, it's not that difficult for you to attain, is what I'm trying to say. That's a B goal. And then we have C type goals, right? What I truly want. These are the goals you really want to reach for. And these are the scary goals. And when I say scary goals, like I mean this, guys, because I've had to set goals as a goal setter my whole life. These are the fucking goals that like scare the shit out of me because these are the goals that I had no idea what was going to happen. And I used to like love certainty because I had to know, I had to control and all. And again, take it as it resonates, but you might also be like this, right? Or experiencing this in your life right now. So you have no idea how it will happen, but this is part of the whole journey of understanding how energy works and that you attract things, but you have no control over how they come to you, when or where, or like from who or any of that, right? And with you doing this process consciously over the time, you're going to start to see the patterns of how you start to manifest, right? And I do this because you're always manifesting. Like right now, you are living the manifestation of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions from 6 months ago or a year ago. So does that make sense? But last thing I'll leave off for the end of the call is these 8 aspects of wellness that we have, right? So again, if right now, this is the best time, like most people, hear me out, wait till January 1st. And I used to be one of these people to create a goal, right? And to say like, what am I going to attract? So most people wait till January 1st to start doing what you're about to do today. So you are 6 months ahead of the masses as of right now. Just saying this, okay? So shout out to y'all. I'm proud of y'all, okay? So we have, and I'll just go down as I have them, right? But we have 8 aspects of wellness, basically. We have our spiritual, and in each of these aspects, we get to create goals, right? So we have our spiritual, which is defining personal values and belief systems, which is actually what we're doing today, right? We're kind of starting to see, what am I still holding on to as a belief that I no longer want, doesn't no longer serve me? And what beliefs do I want to create for myself that are going to help me become a different person? Because you don't want to be the same person you've been. The goal here is expansion, right? We're learning to build, sustain, and expand a holistic lifestyle from the inside out. So connection to self and the world around you, right? So that's your spiritual. That's all it means. Spiritual does not mean religion. Spiritual does not mean anything in specific. It just means you consciously deciding for yourself what will be your truths, what will be your belief systems, what will you say that consciously accept and therefore become part of your reality, right? Then we have environmental, which is one that a lot of people don't really think about, but this is occupying places that promote pleasant experiences that stimulate growth internally and externally. Emphasis on the internally and externally, because a lot of the times we're around, and part of environment is like people you hang out with. That also kind of has to do with social. And just hear me out, like these will intertwine, but individually they have like their own set thing, okay? But yeah, part of environmental is like the places you inhabit, right? And the people that inhabit those places. Like what settings are you around, and those settings, what kind of people do they bring, and what kind of mindsets do those people have? Because you ultimately will become like them. So, and remember that environment always beats will. So if you want to be a healthy person and everyone around you just parties and drinks and eats like crap, and they're taking out food and they're not working out, and they're just doing all the unhealthy. If you're trying to become a healthy person, whatever that means like to you, and you're hanging around with people that are doing the complete opposite, even if you do your best, over time, you're going to subconsciously just do what they do, and you're going to give in. And then you're going to be in another cycle of like, you know, so again, just make that conscious awareness of understanding that environment has a big role to do, right? So sometimes you have to switch off your environment. Sometimes you have to take space from people, places, and things, not because of them, but because of you, because you got to put yourself first to master yourself, and then be able to go back into those environments and not get called in, right? Or not get like, you know what I mean? Not get, what's that word when people try to peer pressured into stuff and things like that. Then we have our third one is physical. Preventing illness and injury by maintaining a healthy functioning body. Which is one of the which is one of the aspects that most people are actually working on, right? It's like they're physical, they're mental, depending, right? And they're financial. That's usually what people like. Or again, take it as it resonates, but point being, there are more than just those aspects. And if we have any of these in an imbalance, it's going to reflect in our life everywhere, because how you do one thing is how you do everything, okay? All right, so then we have intellectual, right? So this is being able to implement and expand your knowledge and skill sets, right? So this is just, and it did come out today in the cards, right? Intellect. So, the ability to, things that you learn, for example, what I'm saying here on the call right now, your ability to take even just one sentence, one piece of information, and apply it into your own life and start to practice that shift, that's you utilizing your intellect. That's utilizing your intellectual wellness. That's you expanding on your intellectual wellness. So maybe today, or you know, for the rest of the year, that's what you're going to be working on, is applying the information that I give you guys, so that you can start to notice the shifts, start to go within, and start to really like excavate, like extract, I don't know what the fuck I tried to say that word, extract what it is that you have within you that needs to shift, right? Okay, then we have social. So this is the ability to build, nurture, and support healthy relationships, connections, including being consciously aware and accepting of differences such as abilities, race, class, sexual orientation, etc. Right? So understanding that what I say is right doesn't have to be what you say is right, or what she or he or they or whatever like say is right. Because my truth is not your truth, and your truth is not my truth. So being able to live in our truth with confidence and speaking on it, while simultaneously respecting that other people have different truths, and like we are nobody to say how they should feel, think, do, whatever, like, right? Just how we want no one in our business, like we gotta stay the hell out of other people's business. Which is another reason why, there's a little like side note, but gossip is horrible. Like, if you're gossiping, you're just bringing all this karma back to you, right? Like if you gossip and I know sometimes it's unintentional, and I know sometimes it's like a family thing or a culture thing, right? Of like, oh, did you hear that? And your aunt did this or blah, blah, blah. Like, but all of that, like, honestly, it's just a waste. So I don't know who needed to hear that one today, but my life literally, like, and I'm not gonna lie, like, it's, again, like I said, it could be culture, right? Like in my culture, like, I come from a small town that's literally only 100 years old in Mexico. So everybody knows everybody. and everybody knows everything about everybody's business, right? So I definitely can resonate with that. All right, then we have financial, ability to live within your means and understanding of management of cash flow for the short and long term, right? This one I will say is super, super critical because your finances literally can either like break you or make you. It's not the most important. None of these are more important than one of the others, but it's important that we recognize what role they play in our life. And once we set those goals, we have to see like, okay, what can we do? Hi, ladies. Good morning. What can we do to set ourselves up for success, right? So like if your goal is to travel the world, you're gonna need some finances, right? Does that make sense? How this kind of like goes in hand. All right, so then we got vocational. This is the last one. So this is gaining personal satisfaction and enrichment from one's work. So aka like your job, your career, right? There's different words, there's different terminologies. Again, I want to really get you guys to open up to the emphasis that you're going to hear a lot of information from a lot of different people, from a lot of different books, from a lot of different movies and documents and like news, and like information is coming in and out like all day long, right? Going back to, again, just taking it back. And maybe tomorrow, that's actually what I'll do. I'll explain what this is and how like you fit into this. But you have information coming in all day long from everywhere, right? So you have to have that discernment and understand that people are using the same words. I mean, different words for the same meaning. And that's when things get confusing, right? Like, for example, if one person calls it the aura, and one person calls it the electromagnetic field, and one person calls it the universe, and one person calls it God, and one, like, they could mean the same thing, but because of the context of, again, it goes back to like their paradigm, like what they heard, what they saw, what they listened to growing up, they're gonna call it that, right? But for example, when I say electromagnetic field, I'm talking about your aura. I'm talking about the energy centers within us, the chakras, right? Which is what we're looking to unblock. But out of those 8 aspects of wellness, this is your homework for today, right? Think about 2 aspects, or maybe 1, depending on how much, you got going on. 2 aspects of your life right now that really, really need work in. Not even what you want to work on, is what do you need work in? Because the more, even let's say you want finances, but your emotional relationship like is like suffering, and you're also like, you're like pre-diabetic, or got some like health condition going on, I would suggest doing health, right? So your physical and your relationship / emotional awareness, right? Why? Because those 2 are suffering. And I know you want the money, but you having the money, trust me, is not going to give you these 2. So again, be very consciously aware of how you're making decisions and why you're making decisions. Like, why is it that you want money so much, right? Like, you should like understand like your health is your wealth, first of all, right? That's what I'm gonna say, because no amount of money is gonna save you. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. But again, you get what you focus on, not what you want. So if you really want health, right, but you're focused on your illness, you keep attracting more, and that vibration of illness, whatever illness you currently are maybe experiencing, is going to keep coming back into your reality because you're focused on it, and whatever you focus on expands. So be very aware how you set your goals and how you go about reaching those goals, because it's not what you want, it's what you focus on. And that's why in the beginning of the call, right, I'm like, okay, let's practice some gratitude, 5 things we're grateful for. So gratitude is how you raise your vibration, but gratitude is also how you get to focus and expand and attract more of that energy. Does that make sense? So thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'm so happy and grateful to start these calls again. I think we have so much to go over. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. Remember, it's always a decision away for you to shift your energy. If you woke up today and things were not going the right way, remember, it's what you focus on, right, that will grow. So decide that today is a beautiful fucking day to have a beautiful fucking day. Let's go.